All right. Let's go ahead and dive into our game today. We are short one Nari, who apparently thinks flying on an airplane is more important than spending time with us playing D&D. So we will be short Talah this week. But we've got everybody else. And we will get into it pretty much immediately. When last we saw our heroes, Nate the Human Ranger, Gobs the Locantha Warlock, Othokent the Lizard Folk Life Domain Cleric, Talah the Half Orc Druid, and Abraham the Human Wizard. Our group was recovering from their battle with the Heart of Winter. During the evening after the battle, Talah was awoken to find somebody making breakfast sandwiches in her home, to come into the kitchen to find a strange human man who she would later figure out is Eno, the protocol number 1 of Gilgamesh's avatar. Eno took her to the bar where Abraham was sleeping off his depression, and he explained that in Abraham's dreams he was creating some type of arcane warping anomaly. And through very specific abilities Eno has at his disposal, he was able to insert Talah into those dreams in the attempt to help Abraham. Abraham was confronted with long lost memories of the accident, which introduced him to the arcane sanctuary, and was brought back to the memories of his beloved sister, older sister, who practically raised him. Upon these memories returning to him and him confronting his depressive, angry side, and Doc's keyboard being really loud, he was able to move on and begin to get himself a little bit back together. As per Eno, the group is definitely going to need him as we head in to the next series of events. The rest of the group got to spend the day having great food with family. Nate's family came in for breakfast. Got to see Talah after her long disappearance, and everybody got to relax and be reminded what family and home really was. And that's where we're going to pick up. It is the day after, the morning after those events. Nate, your family went back home. You guys ended up spending the rest of the evening relaxing. Gobs eventually woke up, ate a whole bunch, and then went back to sleep. As you know, exhaustion from said battle and everything had overcome everybody. Is there anything anybody else would like to do that evening as we roll into the next morning?
Sleep more.
You did enough of that last session. You weren't even here.
All right, go ahead and roll to sleep.
Alright, you got it. I'll roll to sleep right away. Yeah, this seems like a good sleep roll. There you go, 15.
Yep, you successfully sleep. All right, so the next morning you guys wake up, everybody gets everything together, you get all your travel bags kind of kitted up. Breakfast again is cooked by Talah's father. It's the remnants of the bacon. There was still a little bit of pancake, or he, instead of waffles, he does pancakes this morning. Some of that bacon was still left over, so he reheated it and cooked the last little batch of it. So everybody gets a good solid breakfast before you guys gather up and begin to head back to wherever you're headed next. So, group, what are we doing? What would you like to do?
So, we've successfully prevented the thing from happening here. And Gobs is going to look towards Nate and Nate and Talah, there we go. And go, do you guys want to spend some more time here before we go back? You know, just relaxing without the threat of all of this hanging over our heads? Probably take a day or two if you need it.
I mean, that would be nice. Although, do we have time to be that relaxed?
Not really, but we also do need to take some time off. Because if we're just rushing around all the time, we're gonna burn ourselves out.
Well, we did spend yesterday pretty much doing nothing but enjoying ourselves and having a good time.
We did? Wasn't
Well,
yesterday when we fought?
No, you slept through all of yesterday.
I slept through a day.
You slept for an entire day upon, was it Mike's lap, I believe, as a pillow?
Yeah. You
Who's
cuddle up
Mike?
real nice with my dad.
You snuggled with him like he was a big body pillow.
And if you're wondering how big, he's taller than me.
Like
Okay, I could see why I'd pick him, but
I don't think I'd be able to defeat him in an arm wrestling contest, to be honest.
your dad, he's married, right?
Oh,
Currently?
yes.
Yeah, should I fear for my life? Should I be running from the city?
No, because that would mean that my mom was
Sorry.
actually afraid of you,
Okay.
and that, no.
Okay, good. I really don't want to be in bad waters with any of your families. Well, actually, the jury's still out on Othokent's family. I haven't met them or heard
They were
much
delicious,
about them.
though.
Wait, what?
That's a joke.
They came visiting too.
Othokent taught me that one.
My family's not too interesting. They are very much in the ways of the lizard folk people.
I see. So,
Honestly, you would be rather bored, I think.
I mean, I'm not bored in your company, and if they're anything like you,
They're not.
all right then.
So if you remember how boring I was when we met,
You know, I have a
They're
hard time
even-
remember you being boring.
fair enough. Well, they're way more dull than I was back then.
Fair enough.
Though they
Well,
are very pragmatic, so if you want to be stuck somewhere with low resources, is a good place to be. They'll always find some food.
I have a fear that I would be that food.
Honestly, I don't think so. You're too small by yourself.
Hey! One benefit of being the size of a large pair of boots.
They just call you appetizer.
Oh no.
Like I always say, it is usually the duty of the eldest to be in for soup duty.
I really hate the fact that that's like a whole thing.
It's a rare thing.
Yeah, but it happens often enough that it has a name.
True, but it does lead away from famine being a problem.
Um, sure.
I know it's a horrifying thought, but if we go by how backwater and how not advanced most lizard folk villages are, if someone does die of natural causes, then there are better uses than simply just burying them in the ground and letting the dirt eat them.
Fair enough. You know, it
Burial
doesn't
is seen
get
as an
any.
insult.
Sorry?
I just said burial is seen as an insult, to be honest.
Huh. It doesn't get easier to think about, regardless of how often I hear it. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
It's a good thing. Not readily accepting cannibalism is a good thing. I grew up with it, so it's a lot easier for me to talk about it.
I don't even know if it qualifies as cannibalism for me. I don't know if there's anything I can cannibalize.
Mm,
Either way,
I suppose. Yeah. Sorry.
if we've no reason or want to stay for longer, then I guess we head back to the city. I'm sure that that Talah and Abraham would like to see their daughter at the very least, and it might be a good idea to sort of find some of the things we're looking for. I believe someone owes us a favor, don't they?
Honestly, I have a hard time keeping track of who we owe things to and who owes us things at this point. But you are right, we still have a list to fulfill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember us owing anything to anyone, do we?
Don't think so. But I wonder what Fieldtor's done with his place while we've been gone.
I mean, it'd be worth to go back and check it out, see how he's doing.
I don't
I
think
think
he
we'll-
wants visitors.
Neither do I. But I think it's going to be hard to not see what he's done if he's done anything.
True. Also, there's the whole where in the world is Carrie, which I don't know if we should be hunting him or should be trying to avoid him still. That's what we've been doing so far.
Honestly, at this point, I think our best choice is just to not forget he exists, but act like he doesn't exist.
You know, I keep thinking that the way he's going to end up approaching us is just walking along the street as we're doing something. You know, like that one movie.
There's a chance of that. But I think, honestly, if we try hard to avoid him, then he's just going to look for the ways we would avoid him. And if we try to find him, we are probably just going to end up finding him. Our best choice is ignoring the problem for now.
Fair.
It's at least
Well-
my viewpoint.
Well, we could head back and just for a job then, I guess.
Sounds like a plan.
Paula pops up and goes, "So, what is our next move? What are we trying to do now?"
Well, it would still be fulfilling that list.
What list?
The list of materials.
Have you guys ever actually talked to Tala about all of that?
We have,
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
because we got the Batorian green steel back in Burcoin. And we went
Yeah,
to the
I've talked
mines for the
about it.
living steel.
Yeah, we went for the soul steel. We had to do the thing in the scary ghost plan that scared the shit out of Tala.
Ooh. So what are we still missing on that list?
Let's take a look at it, actually, then.
I mean, we've secured the soul steel. I remember that much.
That's not.
We still need Hezekiah, adamantine, true gold, aureum, heartstones, and sapphires.
Correction, you don't need adamantine.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, didn't we get that from Dryden?
You did indeed.
Hmm.
I'm
So
just
start-
quickly gonna.
Dryden
Fiddle
had
with the
that
list.
already.
You fiddle away, fiddler.
It's just if anyone else was in the list, so I don't accidentally kick someone out or something.
But then again, with our luck, we're due to run into the hot dog vendor anytime soon.
There we go.
Oh, don't say his name.
Bitch ass.
Abraham,
Yes?
why don't you give me an Arcana check?
No.
Okay, don't then.
I'm sorry, that reply was great.
Okay. So, again, just as a reminder, you're not exactly sure what Hiziker is. True gold, you know what it is. You don't really have an idea of where to get some. Aurum is something that's a bit. It's like I've heard of it, but I've never heard of it being an actual material. The interesting one that kind of pokes out to you is heartstones. Heartstones are literally the crystallized hearts of hags.
Hmm.
Well, we are close to something with the Feywild.
Hags are not fey.
Aren't they connected to it?
No, they are not.
They always seem like fairy tale creatures to me. You know, the whole poisoned apple, warded nose, potion
I
that
mean,
gives you long life, but you live as a stone.
They're more tied to fairy tales and nightmares. They're the
yeah, I mean,
antithesis to the Feywild itself.
I've read a lot of mentions about hacks, but it's more like they're using fake connections more
Yes.
than anything.
Yes, just exactly what he said. Perfect. They use the Feywild. Their primal forces twisted by a dark god.
So,
And they
wouldn't-
reproduce by stealing children.
Oh, well, I would ask you, Nate, if children have been stolen a lot from this village, but that seems insensitive given everything.
I mean, there was a reason why we were told to look after Talah when we were small.
The,
Wandering around in the woods is dangerous.
do kids sometimes go missing in these woods?
I don't think so, but you know, growing up, you hear all the stories just to make the
Yeah,
kids behave. I think.
I'm just thinking, if they often are near or act with the Feywild and we have Fey-connected family here, and you said you detected things in the woods, do you still detect those, or is that gone?
Yeah, what do I feel? Sound scream.
Hungry.
Nothing's changed.
So over by the forest, it's just still a direct gate to the Feywild.
Mm-hmm.
They do exist in the Feywild, for they like to use its power and to hide in it.
So, if we were to hunt down hags, it would be, well, these woods, I guess.
Potentially. But where do you begin?
I guess begin talking with the people here?
Yeah, I mean the hunters might know.
Yeah.
Are there any stories about the hags in this area? Old tales passed down?
I mean, there's plenty of stories. I don't know which ones are true.
Give me a
And here's where,
history check on that.
as I said, this is where I hope Soundscreen will come in, and I will point out that my history check is at a -1.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many stories. I don't know which ones are true or not.
Let's talk to your father. Or
Yeah,
Talah's
this-
father.
Yeah, like just the locals here would likely know more, right? There's a bar in this city, right?
Yeah,
There'd
just
be a barkeep.
No, we've talked to the barkeep.
Oh,
don't
do they?
necessarily listen to what the shopkeep says.
Give me that with the advantage, Nate.
So another one.
Yeah, give me another one.
Another one.
You know, you grew up here, and yet you've never heard any stories about hags in the area. Talah is going to pipe up and say something similar.
Well, it's still worth it to talk about it because if there actually are hacks, it's likely not something they'd be telling children, right? You know, it'd be covered up like,
Maybe?
don't go into the
May
woods.
not.
Nate, I will tell you, outside of everything that happened with the Heart of Winter, there hasn't been anything really extraordinary that's happened around here.
Yeah, no. Like outside of Talah seeing that thing when we were small, this is just a small town where nothing really ever happens, or so I thought at least.
Well, now something's happened here. You happen.
Well,
Also,
yeah, and there's
just for Abraham's sake, it does have to be a specific kind of hag. Has to be a night
Is it?
hag.
Oh, the worst kind.
Hmm.
It's just a direct connection to the Feywild next door. So how can this town be this normal? I'm
Maybe
starting to
there's.
question everything.
How
Well, maybe
normal
let's
is
go ask
this?
some questions. Let's go investigate.
Oh, here's a thought. If the people of the town don't know, maybe the Fae know. We can just pop in there and ask them, right?
That seems a little naive
Why so?
because the Fae, if you ask them for something, you will then owe them, and you never want to owe the Fae
Why not?
because you may not ask like what they ask in return.
I mean,
Also,
you could just.
sometimes they also sometimes say sayings very literally. For example, they may ask you to give them your name, then you
Yeah.
literally give them your name.
And you are no longer who you were.
So, wait, how does that work? Do they bring in a lawyer and force you to legally change your name?
No, they supernaturally strip you of your identity.
How?
I've heard of that. Then people stop recognizing who you are.
Your history is taken from you, and you become a
Oh.
nothing.
Huh. Aside from you people right here, I probably wouldn't mind that too much. No, you guys do outweigh the bad.
Glad to hear it.
Granted, I've never had many dealings with Fae myself. Scratch that. Until a couple of days ago, I've never had dealings with Fae, but I've still heard the stories when wandering.
Hmm.
They are conniving creatures and are dangerous to approach, especially in their own territory.
All right, so don't go in there then. Well, let's still, we can still ask around the town if we hear nothing. I mean, the best place to get information would likely be the city of Gilgamesh. Hub of people.
Let's. I'm. If we're not going to go, if you don't want to go asking the townsfolk about any stories about these things, I'm going to go do it.
No, I said I did want to go do it. I said in case that brings us nowhere, then we return to the city. But I do want to go ask them. I want to go bother townspeople. I haven't been doing that yet.
Let's go then. Let's stop talking about it.
All right, so you can all roll investigation checks, or one person can roll with advantage.
We have a better chance if we all roll.
I'm certainly gonna roll.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna roll.
Okay, then roll away.
I
That
cast
was-
guidance on Abraham.
D4.
D4.
Nate's investigation.
25. 25, but doesn't match his 30. Jesus.
I did not know you had a plus 12, Nathaniel. Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Fantastic. So,
Otho was busy casting spells.
yeah, Othokent, you end up getting tied up by a guy who wants to talk about the only hag
Literally.
he knows of, which is his ex-wife.
Oh,
And he will not relent as he continues to tell you everything that ever went wrong with their marriage and everything he hates about her. Gobs, people are a little weirded out by you and your weird arm, so you don't get a whole lot of information. I mean, everybody's polite that you guys run into, because you hop from kind of like the pub to the general store, just people around out and about, right? There's still a lot of people who are kind of distracted because they're cleaning up because there was some damage and whatnot from the battles and whatnot and all of that. Uh, Abraham and Nate, you're able to get in and start talking to some of the long range hunters, right, who go out and hunt game for a living, and some of the woodcutters. And they've heard a few weird stories here and there. There was one who said that there was an issue around with that around Omshara about 15 or 20 years ago, but they haven't really heard anything about that. Most of the nasty hag stuff that they've heard is from outer towners, with some weird stuff going on in the city of Gilgamesh. Specifically, there's at least it's rumored that there are a couple of hags in the Green Dragon Ward.
So there may be hags here, but there's definitely question mark definitely hags in the city of Gilgamesh, from my understanding.
The only ones that they've heard of for sure that were referred to as hags that meet the kind of description of what you're looking for were rumored to be in the Green Dragon district of the city of Gilgamesh. The only thing close that's had something like that recently is that there was an issue about 15 or 20 years ago around Omshara, but they haven't heard anything about it since. And somebody that would be stealing children is probably something they would have heard about.
The Green Dragon District, aka the Find Out District.
Yeah, I'm still starting to get weirded out by how normal this place is, given its proximity to the Feywild.
Yeah, and by extension, I'm weirded out by how normal you and Talah seem.
We're normal?
Are you sure you'd consider us normal? Well, thanks, I guess.
I'd like you to consider my stock of comparison as she gestures towards Abraham and her own arm.
What's not normal about me?
You're literally the smartest guy I know.
Hmm.
You're reshaping reality with your magic.
There are more powerful wizards out there than me.
None that I've met.
Hmm. Luckily enough for you. Wait, Vincent may be more powerful than me, but he's not
Oh,
smart. He's charismatic, force of will.
He has
I
a magic
don't-
sugar daddy.
I don't think charismatic is the word I'd use for him.
Force of will.
Yeah, that's probably better. Wait, you're telling me he's casting with the power of pure grump?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I want to learn how to do that.
You have to have a spark of magic in your blood. But if we're going to investigate Amshara, we need to go do so. If we're going to go to the city of Gilgamesh, we need to do so.
Shars doesn't seem as sure as of a shot. Besides, what else is out near Amshar?
Nothing.
Is just a small village by the lake? So yeah, it's either a maybe clue down to a small village by the lake, or it's a less maybe, more certain clue inside of a big old city. I'm putting my bets on the city.
Everybody else say city as well?
The city of Gilgamesh.
City of the Gilgamesh, yeah.
Any place that
Uh,
isn't near that guy is good for me.
Which guy? You thinking about Carrie?
No.
I think he got stuck with the shopkeep.
How can you complain so much about one person you supposedly were married to?
Oh.
I wanted to cut off my own tail to escape. I felt threatened like he was a predator.
Wait, that's not the shopkeep. Who did you speak to?
Someone who endlessly complained about his hag of a wife.
You look over, Nate. It's the local taxidermists.
Right.
I have a quick question, by the way. Could you actually lose your tail without bleeding out? Do you
I
have a
could not.
tail?
I
One.
have a tail. I can lose it a grand total of 1 time.
Okay, so don't grow back.
It does not, but I thought about the sacrifice of my beautiful strong tail just to get away.
His
was gonna-
thick, meaty tail.
I was gonna say, if it grew back, that would be a great way to just leave someone. Just pop. Here you go. I'm going to leave this conversation now.
Yeah, that would have been great. But I'm fine with whatever's chosen. I just need to not be next to that guy. Then I'm happy.
All right. In that case, you can stay next to us. No one here's grumpy.
I can accept Grumpy. Grumpy is fine.
That really traumatized you, didn't it? Do you need a
Never heard-
cry? Do you need a
No.
little cry?
No, I just need to move on
All right.
away from that man.
All right. Let's start moving towards the city then. Let's start packing our bags, getting our.
We could also
Horses.
head directly into the Heart of Winter's area.
Yeah, you know what? That sounds like a great idea. Let's do that. See how they're doing.
Huh?
I mean, we can always go in and twist the sword a bit.
You know, I'm sure they'll be delighted.
Abraham
still
help
has
me.
the
I'm
sword?
confused.
I mean, he possesses it in the way anybody possesses something that they're impaled upon.
Just
Yeah,
walk in, lean,
the sword is pierced through his chest.
walk in, lean on the sword. How's it hanging? We would be so killed before we reached him.
Take it out, replace it into his brain.
There we go. Much better.
I don't like the angle it's at. Just
What do you go in there like? Has everybody seen Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, look, stop. You look ridiculous. Starts pulling all the swords out of him.
yeah.
But yeah, I think this city. Actually, wait. We came here by teleportation, right?
Ish. It's going to take a while to get back.
Oh, we're gonna have to walk.
I don't know that spell. We were gifted a scroll. And I don't know that's going to cost me.
And my legs are short.
Didn't we have a second scroll?
Nope.
Oh,
Did-
I feel like we had two. Didn't Talah get one? I guess not. It's been a lot.
I guess we're walking back.
Well, I know the way. It's gonna be a breeze.
You know what? I'll trust your sense of direction. Should we buy a tent, make a camping trip out of it?
I already have a couple of tents.
Yeah, a moment like one big tent we all fit in. Do they make tents that big?
How many tents do you expect me to carry around, Gobx?
Just the one. I'll help.
Sure, we can get a
bird,
tent.
bird. That's
It
all I
is-
hear.
It is now chirping through a closed door. I can do nothing more.
You can do push to talk. That's what you can do.
Oof.
Right.
But sure, let's go find a 5-man tent.
I don't know if they make them.
I don't know either. I'm not going back in town. I'll wait at the outskirts.
Yeah, let's just get going instead. It's a dumb idea.
All right. So to
mean-
be clear, you guys are going cross country to the city of Gilgamesh, or are you going to go like down to Omshara and try to pick a ship up, or down to Clifford and pick a ship up the river? What do you guys?
Can you ping on the map where we are?
You are right about here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at the mouth of the river. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
As it leaves the forest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Yeah.
take it in a straight
Um,
line. It's gonna take a bit.
What are we
Well-
talking about? It's 25 feet.
Seriously.
A hop, skibbity bop.
See? Seriously.
That's like one move action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the travel to Amshara or Clifford isn't that much shorter, but yeah.
Okay. Basic understanding of water travel and the overland terrain between where we are to City of Gilgamesh. Would it be conceivable that the shortest path would be taking the waterway down to approximately here and then taking it overland instead of taking the longer path through where he's taking us?
Taking the river down to the major turn that turns from heading south west to southeast is probably quicker than doing that leg on foot.
Right. But I'm talking like what he just mapped out going all the way down to here, then wrapping around over here.
no, that would be
This right here to there is faster than all of that.
very likely by a couple days probably.
Yeah, that's why I was
Depending
measuring out, like,
depending
how
on
much.
weather and if the ship that you get on has stops in the villages up and down the coast.
So yeah, beelining it does seem to be the best idea.
Now we need to secure a boat. Somebody steal a boat.
What?
On it,
No.
boss.
We're not stealing
Like-
a boat in my hometown.
I'd like to steal a boat.
No.
What do I roll to steal a boat?
Well, first you would need to do a stealth check. See if you could sneak around the docks to find a boat.
Okay, what's the type of stealing called where you just break into a place and wave around some weapons? You know, the non-stealthy one.
I mean, that's robbery.
I'd like to rob a boat.
Armed robbery.
You'd like to rob a boat? So to be clear,
I
you're
know I'm
in
not
Talah.
actually doing
Okay,
this.
I was about to say you're in Talah and Nate's hometown, with a bunch of people have seen you with Talah and Nate, and a bunch of people know of your association with Talah and Nate because of the saving the town, and you're gonna go and threaten them with violence to steal a boat and think you're gonna get away with this.
Yeah, no.
He is going to get away with it, but it's just not going to be pretty for the history. You know.
I mean,
And
we
there's
could
definitely
just
going to
talk
be consequence down the line.
We could just talk to one of the people and see if we can get ferried over there so he can
Well,
bring his
you-
boat back.
Well, who do you know that has a boat? You've lived here. Let's go.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, it's not too hard for you, Nate. You know, because one of the big things is people doing the thing where they tie logs together and then float them down the river.
Yep.
So you're not able to find a boat per se, but there are a couple log rafts that are going to be going down river that day. And they say, hey, you know, if you don't mind, you know, pushing a pole, you're welcome to come down and shut up. Welcome to go down to the bend.
I don't believe I can.
Yeah, sure. I did that all the time when I was a kid.
Yes, you did. All right. You guys are making it difficult today. All right, so you guys are able to find a couple different groups. You guys are going to be spread across 4 rafts. I need, because it would be Nate and Abraham and Otho and Talah is going to druid shape or wild shape into a gorilla to help give her the strength to push
She
The
can gorilla?
raft down the stream. Yes.
Couldn't she just wild shape into a fish and swim?
Yes, but the whole point is she's helping earn passage by pushing the
Oh.
raft.
Okay, fair enough.
See, Talah's smarter than you. That's why this is happening. So
Yes.
those four, I need you guys to go ahead and give me athletic checks.
Athletics.
I'm going
I'm
to
not
use
good at
shape
that.
water cantrip to help ease my passage by controlling the water around the raft.
All right, give yourself advantage.
Look, Mr. Grissom's a waterbender.
It didn't help.
It did not. So yeah, I'm gonna say so. Normally, it would take probably 3 to 4 days to walk that distance. So I'm gonna say it takes you a day and a couple hours. So it's a little bit before noon when you guys get to the bend the next morning, and are dropped off there. And you know the group of lumberjacks that you were with, they just wave at you, wish you guys best of luck. You know, come visit when you can. And you're probably about 5-ish days travel to the city of Gilgamesh from here. So first and foremost, Nate,
Yay.
I need you to roll a survival check.
Also, set my goodbyes and everything to the family.
Of course.
What's up with Nate's rolls today?
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's because Nari's not here.
I was about to say it's the new relationship glow period, you know, where everything feels a bit light. It's that.
There's no
Right.
performance anxiety.
So Nate, you're gonna be able to navigate very, very efficiently and get you guys there in 3 days.
Nice.
So we're coming to the end of day number 1 of travel.
Going straight through every bandit camp.
Nope, not a lot of bandits out here. It's a little rough and sparse for banditry. Not a lot of people travel this route. Most of it happens on or around the river, because the waterway is the main route that people take. Not a lot of people go straight from Gutwood to the city of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, because not a lot of people go to Godwood.
Exactly. Awesome.
Awesome.
So first night, as everybody is taking their shifts to take watch, I need wisdom saving throws from everybody.
Oh no. Nate doesn't do wisdom, even though he's so wise.
Give me a moment.
I'm not very wise, I'm just trained.
Nate, that first night, as you're asleep, you're having a dream, and you're dreaming of a kind of a long, dark gray hallway, and there's a door at the end of the hallway that has a whitish blue glow coming through the cracks and everything around it.
I see. That's ominous. Like, is it anything I have seen before?
Not that you've seen before.
Yeah.
The hallway is fairly plain. It's like, if you were to go into a government building, with that kind of government tile floor and kind of cheap aesthetic on the wall, that kind of beige aesthetic on the wall, that you can kind of make that out from the light that's coming through under the crack of the door. kind of that checkerboard style black and white tiles on the floor. Nothing real fancy.
Doesn't make me feel welcome. Well, I better head towards the light.
Okay, you head up towards the door.
Yeah, cautiously.
Do you open it? Are you gonna listen to it when you get to the door? What are you doing?
I mean, Nate doesn't have a general bad feeling or anything, right? So
No.
I think he's just gonna slowly open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and as you open it, what you see on the other side is what you would expect in kind of a rundown, school like teacher lounge, right? There's a ice machine that's running and making an awkward noise of the compressor. There's a couple stack machines over to the left, and then there's a kind of a table, like a kitchen table, right? A real basic table, and sitting at that table is an older gentleman in a nice suit, nothing too fancy, and he's just reading a book.
Just as I continue to open the door, I'm gonna knock on it and say hello as I'm coming in.
Give me just a moment.
Was that in character or was that you?
So you
Yes,
crashed.
stuff.
So you had essentially got pulled into some sort of illusion or charm.
Possibly.
A
Dream.
dream.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know yet.
he folds his book, closes his book, and sets it down. And goes, oh, excellent company. Well, hello there.
Hello. Sorry, I'm not sure where I am currently.
You're in the break room.
Well, yeah, I guess it does look like that.
It's the most comfortable place in my little prison here.
Prison?
It's not a prison per se, in my container.
What? But why am I here?
Oh, I think some of the boundaries, I suppose, are starting to weaken a little bit. So sometimes, as my essence bleeds out a little bit, I think it's starting to tickle you guys a little bit.
Your essence.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, I'm Nate. Who are you?
Oh, sorry. I forget that only Abraham has been here before. My name's Enkidu. Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
And he holds his
You're
hand
that-
out to shake your hand.
Nate takes it and gives it a earnest shake. Maybe a bit overeager, like just you're Gilgamesh's brother or something, right?
Yes,
Sorry.
something like that. Kind of
I'm
beginning to worry that you fellas had forgotten about me.
No, I don't think so. We've just been busy with a lot of things and how to proceed.
Yes. Yeah, lots of different things. I've started to be able to pick up some things around me. That was you who killed that Fey Lord, huh?
Well, I'm not sure I killed him, even though I stabbed him through the heart.
I imprisoned him, defeated him. You know what either which way. Man, I tell you what, those guys are something else. When they first started coming back into the world, back in the old days, whew, man, the chaos they caused. Cincinnati was never the same.
Cincinnati.
Oh, it was an old town over back east.
Oh, by Neap.
Further east. Back before
Did-
the wall. Like before all of this.
Nate's brain is starting to cook.
You know, back before even I was around. Or Gilgamesh. Before Gulgalana woke back up.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's weird that my brother hasn't been that much on history. You would think he would be teaching all of you, you know, the failures that led to our self-imposed fortress that you guys live in.
Yeah. Well, good that you're here then, I think.
Well, that's the whole point of these crystals. Make sure that we persist. So, what can I do for you, young man?
And what you can do for me, I don't know. Like I'm still not sure why I'm even in here. I mean, we're just going back to the city.
Good, good. Yeah, you could definitely find some of the materials you'd be looking for there in the city. Speaking of which, whereabouts are you on the material gathering?
Well, we have some of the shadow metal thingy, and
Shadow metal. You mean the soul steel?
yes.
Good, good. That's important. That's actually one of the keys, right? Because otherwise, it's just a robot. And you use the soul steel and blend it in with the others as an alloy, and then once you infuse it with the soul, that's what brings us to life. Otherwise, we're just code in a steel shell. Soul's important.
I can imagine. Can't actually remember what else we have currently.
Oh, that's all right. You know, Abraham, I've been kind of hoping he would step in here so we could catch up a little. He's always busy.
Yeah, I worry about Abraham. I mean, Mr. Grissom. Wait, Abraham.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure
he's not here,
Abraham will
so
be
it's okay.
just fine. After all, he's got my dear friend Milla looking out for him. Tell me, has
Your
Milla
friend,
said anything to you about me?
well, we haven't talked to Milla in a long while. Or do you mean Gobs?
Ah, yes, that's... She's going by that name now. Yes.
I
Dear
mean,
Gobs.
there's that whole situation with Milla. No, sorry, Gobs' mom, and there's that's a thing. You apparently know about that. Wait, what?
What I know
How do you
about...
know Milla?
Oh, you don't need to worry about things like that. The real question is what can I do for you?
What?
What do you
Like,
need?
that, why would I need anything?
Everybody
Okay,
needs everything. I believe as a wise man once said that people need things to live.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure I have everything I need.
Now that's something I haven't really noticed before in organic life. Being satisfied. Strange.
I just Talah's right here, and everyone else is around, and it's just nice.
Yeah, Talah I don't know so well. She wasn't there whenever you guys rescued me from my watery grave.
Yeah.
Well, just know I have my ways of providing. So if you have a need, we can always make an arrangement.
That sounds nice and scary at the same time. Like, just that like a contract
Responsibilities
or
are scary. Well, of course there'd be a contract. You can't do anything these days without a firm commitment. Now, can you?
I guess, but I'm not sure I want to get into some contract, even if you're Gilgamesh's brother. I'm not sure I like this right now. It seems weird.
No.
Like
Relax.
we've
Have a s-
already heard some things about some devils and
Oh, well, I can assure you I'm no devil. No, I like using the arcane binding contracts to make sure that you're comfortable, that I'm going to fulfill my end, and I'm comfortable you'll fulfill yours. So just know if time comes and there's something you need or information you can't find, look me up. I'll be happy to help.
sure, I'll keep it in mind.
And I just ask for a favor here and there when that time comes. Nothing big. I'll never make you hurt any of your friends or ask you to do anything that's going to get anybody killed or anything like that. It's not the kind of person I am.
Okay.
So, how is old Carrie doing? Talked to him lately?
Thankfully, no.
Yeah, that one strikes me as the kind of person who would do whatever it takes to get what he wants.
I am honestly worried what he's up to nowadays. We haven't seen him in quite a while, or heard from him, or heard about him, while he's been so proactively trying to.
I'm just saying, sooner you get me a body, and the sooner I get online, sooner I can protect you from the likes of him. As strong as
Can
he
I
may
roll?
be, he's just a part of my brother.
Can I roll an insight on him?
You sure can.
Oh, come on.
What are you trying to get?
Nate is just getting a sussy feeling about him. Like, there's just something off.
He's
This
definitely
whole.
not lying to you, but he's also right. He has been careful with what he said, so you can catch that at least. Because I promise you, once I'm back up and running, you won't have to worry about Carrie anymore.
Or anything else?
I mean, relatively, there's always things to worry about.
I mean, it's not like I would have to worry about you, right?
Oh, I have no desire to harm anybody.
Well, that's good.
And I have a plan. I've spent a long time thinking about Gulgalana, and have an idea or two. It'd be awful nice not to be pinned up. I've been pinned up in this cube for eons. And getting out of it just means that my walls moved. You see,
Yeah.
Nathaniel, can I call you Nate?
Yes. Yes.
Nate, I don't like walls. I don't like being boxed in. That's not freedom. All right, look at the world you live in.
Yeah.
There are mountains you've never seen. There's forests. There's birds. There's creatures. There's sights. There's entire oceans. There's so much that's been forgotten. So much that's been lost. And the real question is, this fortress Gilgamesh built, is it really keeping that thing out? Or is it keeping all of you in? Now, if I were you, before I started doing anything that could bring him back, probably a question I'd want to answer. But I can tell you this much. Once I'm back on my feet, and I get the opportunity to deal with Gugalana, I'll do so, and I'll tear down those walls. Then we won't be trapped anymore. Not me, not you, not anybody else. You should have seen it, Nate. The world that was, buildings that stretched into the space. Nobody was hungry. Everybody was happy. Trillion people stretched across the whole planet. You imagine that?
I don't even know what a trillion is.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And the most amazing thing you've ever seen in this city of Gilgamesh, nothing compared to what the smallest town had. Nobody was sick. Nobody was hungry.
That sounds like a fairy tale.
It was. It was. And as always, somebody pushed things a little too far. Balance got out of whack. And it was arrogance that undid it all.
So someone messed up?
Yeah.
And that was before you?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And Gilgamesh.
Yep. We were the response. We were built to fix their error.
But Gilgamesh has been protecting all of this. What was your part in it?
To protect him. See, my brother is, or at least was, incredibly reckless. Never took anything seriously. He fought Gugalana 4 or 5 times before I was made. He was almost destroyed every time. So, they built me to help keep him in check. To help keep him in his proper lane. To help him. His number one protocol is to preserve organic life. Do you know what mine is?
To protect his?
To protect him. Because without him, none of you survive.
But now that he's not here, What would your directives then be?
Foster an environment where he can come back and be safe. He's not gone. He's just broken.
I see. No offense, sir, but honestly, that kind of sounds like you have the same protocol as Carrie.
Well, having the same goal as someone else isn't actually a bad thing. It's just the way we want to get to those finish lines is a bit different.
I certainly hope so. Otherwise, I would be getting cold feet, honestly.
But you did walk through a bunch of snow lately.
Yeah, it's
Look, if once I'm out of this, we can use the data that's in my cube to help reforge Gilgamesh from 5 back to 1. Then you'll get your savior back, I'll get my brother back. And maybe we can do something about that stupid big orange piece of crap out there that has ruined this realm of existence.
yeah. I can't even imagine the world you're talking about, and that
That is true.
googly
Gulgalana.
Gulgalana.
Mhm.
I have no clue.
Yep. You know what? You know what I miss the most?
No?
You believe he used to dance?
Gilgamesh.
Mm-hmm. It was his favorite thing in the world. There used to be this game he would play. Had little arrows on the floor. And you would step on the arrows to match up with what was going on the screen. And it would teach you how to dance. I always thought it was the silliest thing. All that motion. For what? Right? Waste of energy. That's how I always looked at it. But not him. Not him. He saw something in it. He understands the useless side of organic life that in a way, I never could.
Can I
Oh.
have an insight on the way he calls us useless?
Sure.
I'm sus.
Yeah, you get the impression he's not saying that organic life is useless. He's saying that there's useless aspects to it, like dancing really is kind of useless, right? Right. When you look at the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. That's the kind of stuff he's talking about. He's like he didn't get it, but Gilgamesh did.
It's an expression of feeling.
Maybe so. Maybe once we get all this stuff back and we start rebuilding this world, I'll have time to learn how to dance. Maybe that pretty girl you keep around you can teach me. What do you think?
um, maybe I'm not sure how much Talah dances. Or do you mean Gobs?
Gobs doesn't strike me as much of a dancer. At least not on a dance floor. She does a different kind of dance that usually ends up with bodies on the floor, doesn't it?
Yeah. Also, speaking of Gobs,
Mm-hmm.
what do you mean your Gobs? Like, just like how. Has Gobs been helping you? Do you know Gobs? Does Gobs know you?
You know, the thing about promises is that they're always kept when it comes to me.
Okay.
So if I've talked to anybody whether it be Gobx or Abraham or Talah or Othokent. Those conversations are private, just like mine and yours is. I don't share that I've talked to anybody or what we've talked about. That's an implicit contract with me. Our conversations are our conversations and no one else's.
I see. Okay.
Well, you're starting to get a
Right.
little fuzzy there, buddy. I think you're about to wake up. Hope you rested well.
Sure.
I'll talk to you soon.
Have a nice day.
And about then you do wake up and it's morning.
Nani?
So you're about 2 days out from the city of Gilgamesh. Is there anything anybody would like to do during this day of travel?
Nothing on my part.
How many more days do we have left, an estimate?
Today
2.
and tomorrow, and you should get there late tomorrow. So, for our second day of travel, anything anybody would like to do?
Don't know if Cyntari was gonna do anything, but if I remember my dream/talk with them, with Enkidu,
You do.
I would very much talk to Mr. Grissom about it.
Okay, you can do so.
Just halfway secret like.
So
the
as
others
you
don't
guys
hear
are
it
walking, Abraham, Nate kind of falls back next to you for a second and begins to talk to you.
So, Mr. Grissom,
Hmm.
last night I had a dream. I met with Enkidu. Enkidu? How? Enkidu, yeah.
Hey. Okay, I don't understand how.
I mean, he was in the cube, right? That's what you said?
I believe so.
60 on. Yeah, he talked about how that was apparently bleeding out a bit. So it was touching all
Weakening.
of us at this point.
I see. The boundaries of the cube are weakening as time goes on.
Yeah, I guess. I'm not sure how that works. But when you talked to him, I was very interested because that seemed cool and everything. But now I've talked to him and he seems weird. I don't like it.
Weird how?
Um, like he's someone with a clear agenda and makes deals. He wanted to ask me if there's anything I wanted. And he would help me get it, and apparently just some minor inconvenience in return.
A minor inconvenience for him may not be a minor inconvenience for you.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Just we've had some bad experiences lately with various people, and I don't do well with all these deals, and I don't even know devils, demons, fae. I don't want any of it.
That's probably the smartest thing you could do in those situations. You don't need to make deals with
So,
extraplanar entities because you'll never know what they might consider a return favor. Say, for
yeah,
example, a devil makes a deal for you, then he says kill somebody because he says that's just a minor inconvenience. He doesn't consider life the same way you do. So, by his perception, it's not exactly an inconvenience for you, whereas it's not an inconvenience for them.
yeah. I mean, he did say he wouldn't hurt any of you guys or anything. Ask me to do something like that.
Yes, but he may do a lot more to plenty of other people, or the world itself, or the fabric of reality, or whatever he's capable of doing.
Yeah, I don't really know. It just I didn't like how it felt.
Always trust your instincts. If you've got a bad read on him, then that's good enough for me.
I mean, he seems fine enough, and I do believe he generally means what he's saying. Um, and he talked about the world outside the walls and some was it Gulgana or something that's apparently outside that we're walled off from. Big scary thing.
Yes,
Orange, apparently.
yes,
Um,
and he has his doubts on the reasons why. I remember that.
yeah, he wants to break down the walls and get rid of that orange beast
If
or
he's even capable of
creature.
doing so.
I mean, he seemed very confident
Yes, and
that he's been ruminating.
how confident did your Fey friend feel about being able to defeat us?
I
Confidence is not surety.
I know. Also, he talked about how Gilgamesh had fought it many times and almost got destroyed every time.
And if they are
So
twins, that didn't exactly bode well for him.
so his confidence was impressive, but I'm not sure what he has to have it in.
Hmm.
And another thing that also kind of worried me, and Nate's voice gets a little uh, more quiet yet again. It's just he's talked about how he was created to protect Gilgamesh, like how Gilgamesh is Protocol One to protect life. He's Protocol 2 to protect Gilgamesh, which in some ways is a different form of himself, I guess.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like Carrie, and I got worried about his motives.
Yes. There's one thing that we need to keep in mind when it comes to dealing with him. It's something that we could learn from Carrie himself. We could reprogram him.
How? Sorry, I've I mean they're persons, right?
They are
How do you?
beings made of living steel, arcane energy. They are programmed and given a soul. But again, they follow orders. How do you think Gilgamesh got the Protect All Life protocol? It was not
I,
something he was born with. Somebody gave
I
it to him.
I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm just I'm just a bit worried, Mr. Grissom. Just he's telling us to just get this done, gather all the materials, and get him up and running, and then we don't have to worry about Carrie.
Oh, I'm sure we won't have to worry about Carrie, but may have to worry about him.
Well, I honestly asked him about that. Sometimes my directness and honesty is a bit much. I kind of got scared. But he says that we won't really have to worry about him.
Yes, from his point of view. And if you're dead, there's no worries to be had because you are now not on this mortal plane. He may not kill you, but the results of his actions may end up with your death.
Right.
So it's all semantics when it comes to lying.
Well, I don't think he was lying. It's just, yeah, I had a hard time understanding him.
No,
I'm not entirely sure.
He wasn't lying per se from his point of view, but he wasn't telling you everything.
Right. Well, he was certainly happy that we're going to the city of Gilgamesh.
Yes.
And
likely because we'd be getting on with raising him.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it did seem like he wanted us to pursue that a little bit more than we have.
Hmm. We have time to consider our actions in the future when it comes time to resurrect him. We can always talk to Dryden about taking care of any extenuating circumstances with his personality to where he may take a shortcut to get the end result. And that shortcut runs through the lives and the city and destroying everything in its path.
Right. Yeah, I'm just worried. So thanks for letting me share my worries a bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, I know he keeps saying that we can rebuild Gilgamesh from his data or whatever he's calling it, but I don't really like I'm not sure how that works, and also how is that just stopping him or us from making more of him?
Well, he's already confirmed with me that we're not resurrecting Gilgamesh. We're resurrecting him, who will help rebuild Gilgamesh, as per his words to me when we spoke. So we are giving him a body, and then we're using the cube to implant him in it.
Right.
Because right now he's essentially a spirit, a soul, bound into a cube.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be weird if he just got a body and started making copies of himself? Just an army of himself to control everything. That would be nightmarish.
You know, he'd have to source all the materials, but we don't know what he's capable of.
I mean, with how powerful we heard Gilgamesh was, I'm not sure that's going to be a problem. And if it goes along with the lines of his protocols, I'm not sure he's going to be prevented in any way. Anyways, that's just my brain running a million miles. Sorry, I'll get in front again and scout ahead. Sorry. Talk to you later.
Anything anybody else would like to do?
Be really grumpy all day since Gobx is no longer smoking.
You're successful in being grumpy.
And
so the day goes well.
Fried bacon.
Everything goes well the rest of the evening. You guys bed down for the evening. Once again, everybody except for now Nate needs to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Come on, guys, fail.
Othokent? Oh. Othokent, if you could give me a wisdom saving throw, please, when you can.
His PC just BSOD'd.
Mm-hmm. He just said he's
Oh,
back.
damn.
He sent that from his phone. He's not even on the player list at the bottom.
You know,
Huh.
he was back from the toilet, and then his PC
Oh,
PSOD.
got it.
Chain of
I-
events went for
I
toilet,
get
came
it.
back.
Yep. So yeah, we'll do that. So that evening, as everybody takes their respective watches and whatnot, Abraham, as you are sleeping that evening, you, in your dreams, are in a familiar hallway that you've been in before. Matches the description of what we gave to Nexus just a little bit ago for Nate's dream.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
Walk down the hallway, open the door.
Fireball.
Oh,
Sit.
2 visitors in a week. Now, this is something that hasn't happened in a while. Hello, dear Abraham. How are you?
Seems to be that the walls surrounding you are weakening.
To a degree, it's allowing me to reach out and say hello.
You know why it might be happening?
Time erodes all things, is my understanding.
I'm back.
Yay.
Time, but only recently. How long have you been down at the bottom of the ocean?
Roughly 11,000 years. But I'm also no longer in an environmentally secure container. I've been exposed to the elements. Around quite a bit of arcane energy being thrown around. It's been quite impressive, sir.
Hmm.
Especially the spell that came out of that ring. There are some reverberations from that one.
Did you see what happened?
No, I really can't see what's going on. I could feel that one.
Hmm.
At least not anything too terribly far away. A couple feet at most.
So you've been watching in on us from my perspective?
From the perspective of the bag on your hip,
Let me see.
it's a lot more interesting than the same old book I've read 100,000 times.
So you must have heard the conversation I had with Nate?
Oh, I try not to eavesdrop on you.
Try and succeed? Or
I feel that conversations are private, so I do my best to keep my ears closed.
Hmm. So are you drawing us into this place, or is it just happening vis-a-vis proximity?
Little column A, little column B. I'm a bit desperate for conversation. So it seems when you're sleeping, it makes it a little bit easier for you guys to find my break room. I'm not forcing my way into anything. It's just you guys have stumbled upon the hallways all.
So Nate did tell us, or tell me, he spoke to you.
He's a good kid, isn't he?
Yes. What were you going to offer him?
Whatever he needed. You guys are doing me the biggest favor you can imagine, so
Hmm.
no sense in me not helping where I can. Don't you think?
And what did you mean by you would break the walls to defeat Gilgana?
Well, if Ghoul Galana wasn't around, there'd be no need for the walls, would there?
Yes.
And you could go anywhere you wanted.
He also said that Gilgamesh lost fighting her.
Several times.
And you're his twin.
To a degree.
Are you more powerful than he?
We were built for different purposes.
Are you more powerful than he? How would you expect a different result?
Because I have different capabilities than him. We're different tools for different jobs. He was built at the pinnacle of technology and arcane being welded together. He was built to be the perfect symbol for a perfect world. I was built as a weapon.
And why didn't you defeat her the first time when you were first created?
There's a couple different reasons for that. The biggest one being is that I trusted my older brother's wisdom.
Hmm.
So he did things his way, and it got me destroyed.
What was his way?
I don't remember.
And what would have been your way?
The power I can bring to bear can destroy him, but it also could have left some not permanent but long-term effects on the planet.
I see.
We were out of time, and Gilgamesh didn't want to do it. He wanted to try both of us going out and physically restraining Gulgalana and trying to subdue her, and then ship her off into the cosmos, back from whence she came, wherever that is. And that's when this copy of me was saved. I don't know what happened, but the fact that you don't know who I am, but you know who he is, tells me I was destroyed, and I wasn't repairable. So this save state was never engaged.
I see.
I mean, it seems like these walls are working, so I don't see a reason why bringing my brother back and then taking the time to figure out a better way than just pure raw power and her destruction. That was the weirdest thing to me, to be honest with you, Abraham. Maybe it's just because of his nature, but when he wants to protect all life, he means all, right? Like, he wouldn't let me destroy Gulgalana to save all of you. Isn't that strange? This omnipresent, omnidestructive creature that would destroy everything he cares about if it got the opportunity. In fact, it did once.
You don't know his reasons because you do not remember.
Oh, well, his reasons are he believes all life is sacred.
Do you think he considers Gulgalana's life sacred?
Yes, absolutely.
And you think that's the problem?
That's why we went with his methodology, not mine, because I would have killed her.
Is there a way to kill her without damaging the planet?
Potentially, but we were out of time. My only option I had at that moment would have been a colossal release of a specific type of energy radiation. Not like, the give you cancer radiation, but a form of energy I believe it would have been able to bypass her natural defenses and cause her physical self to deteriorate, but it also would have had some adverse impact on that particular area of the world's atmospheric layers, which would have made them uninhabitable for roughly 3,000 to 4,000 years. He deemed that unacceptable because not only would it make that place uninhabitable for that time frame, it would also take the life of all organic life in that radius, as well as Gul Galana herself. He always said there must be a way to resolve this conflict without her dying too. I disagree, but he's the older brother.
So do you even want to bring him back, or do you just want to solve this on your own?
I mean, my priority is to bring him back.
So
I
when
want,
you're, so when you're,
I want to resolve Gul Galana because that was the only thing me and him ever disagreed upon. So if I can get my brother back and resolve our one conflict, and then I can have my family again, why would I not want that?
Abraham's nodding. Side question. If you did give Nate something, or any of my friends something, what would be the ask in return?
Oh, in some way, shape, or form to help me.
What would that cost them?
Just a minor favor.
Minor in the terms of your lifespan and power, but major in this form of span of theirs?
Opening a door, flipping a switch, getting a sandwich.
Those
Something minor. I'm
all
not
of those
in
have
need of much.
circumstances.
Yes, everything we do has circumstances, Abraham.
Flipping a switch to release a criminal could have dire consequences. So when you say flipping a switch, depends on which flip is switched.
Yes, which flip is switched?
And you see my point.
I think you're speaking in absurdities.
Well, it depends on which switch is flipped, if you're being pedantic about the syntax.
I'm not being pedantic. I'm saying that you could take anything I could ever ask for and turn it to something corrupted. You lack faith in anything and anyone.
I ask questions because I don't know the answers to everything.
What time will you poop tomorrow?
If I stay regular, probably around 7 in the morning.
Well, probably. No, that's not a definite. I'm going to keep asking questions until you tell me something specific that I can then twist to make it sound like you're going to poop on somebody's head. Well, you didn't say what time you'd poop. It could be while you're staying.
Now I think you're talking in absurdities.
Yes, well, this is what it's like to talk to organics. I've never asked anybody to do anything they weren't willing to do to get what they needed. I never will. I always give much and ask for little. I can't provide specific examples because those specific examples are covered by a non-disclosure agreement. All my conversations are covered by a personal non-disclosure agreement. If your little friend Othokent were to pop in here tomorrow night and ask me what we talked about, you know what I'm going to tell him? Nothing. Because it's not my place to share. being the smartest one, you definitely are not the most reasonable one.
You know my history.
Not all of it. Just enough of it.
Well, I have a question for you before our time is up.
Mm-hmm.
What is his occur?
Oh, it's a very soft metal. Almost clay-like. Incredible at thermal and electrical conductivity. Main component in mine and my brother's brain.
Where can it be found?
I mean, I don't know much of the world as it is, but in our time, it was something that was very deep underground. Usually, to drown the Smurflin were the ones we had to deal with to obtain it. It's very rare, very expensive.
I see.
Finest computer processors that have ever existed were made out of it.
Back to the mines.
Hmm.
When I say deep, I don't mean just quadrupede. We're talking getting close to the outer crust, through the crust into the core. Tremendous amounts of pressure and heat, along with an arcane lane line, is what creates that.
I see.
Don't get it wet if you get some. It makes sodium and water look like a good idea.
And what of Aurorum?
Aurorum only comes from the plane of air. Actually, where air and fire meet. It's has the nature of metal, but it's like if you could take light itself and make it into a substance you could forge.
Considering the planes are cut off from this realm, that'll be very hard to come by.
Yes, well, it did make my brother very beautiful. It was his skin, after all. Oh, and I wouldn't try throwing any arcane magic at any Aurum. It doesn't take well. Fairly reflective, if you catch my meaning. Asking an awful lot of me. What do I get to ask of you in return for answering these questions?
You are being brought back to life with this knowledge. Is that not enough?
Is that a commitment to do so?
Seems we have no choice if we want things to return to the way they were. Besides, Carrie is chasing us. Carrie wants to twist you into something that you never were.
Carrie believes he can take my code and use it to alter his own.
He wants to be in control and have more power than he ever had before.
He just doesn't want to die again.
He wouldn't die. He would become a part of the original.
Maybe.
Maybe he doesn't want to lose a sense of self, and he considers that dying.
Would you want to merge with your friends? Become a single, autonomous creature?
Depends on the nature of the sacrifice.
It's always
Seems-
the catch, isn't it?
Maybe he doesn't consider it worth it. But he is the instinct of survival.
Yep. Yep. And both times he's been ignored, it's cost Gilgamesh the most important thing to him, hasn't it?
Are you wanting to ask something of me?
I'll just take an IOU.
Well, then let's... It's been a minute since I was last told where True Gold was by those miners. I remember being ranted to by a bunch of miners when I got really pissed off magically in Helmbrim.
Yeah, it's from oh goodness. I think it's it's Olympia if I remember correctly.
It's like celestial gold.
Yeah.
Then it'll be what it is. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. The world will be a better place if you guys succeed.
Potentially, unless you blow it up.
Why would I blow up the world?
The original plan involved destroying a portion of the planet. There's only a portion of it. There's only a small portion of it left.
Oh no, it's all still here. You just can't go see it.
What state is it in?
That's a question I don't have the answer to.
If
Don't you go-
Gugulana is a creature of destruction, we have to assume not much.
Oh, why don't you go sneak outside your walls? Go see what the rest of the world's like.
If I had the means to do so, I might.
You know? Next time you're at the tower, why don't you ask your metallic little friend where the head of the Reachers is? Maybe you'll learn something.
Maybe so.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to finish my book.
Haven't you already finished it?
Yes, but good books are always so fun to reread. You never know what you missed the first time through.
Here, take this book. You haven't read this one.
Is it just you holding up a middle finger?
No, it's the book on the Andinian burial rituals that I got from the tomb. It's just a book I have.
He takes it and goes,
Something new, different.
yes, now all I need is something blue and something borrowed.
We're not getting married.
Oh. But I love you so much, Abraham. I do appreciate it.
I wish I had something less grim to offer. But it is what it is.
Yes, and hopefully this isn't something I'll have any use for. But knowledge is always good to have. Anyways, sleep well.
You too, if you do.
And at that point, everything fades. And next morning rolls around. Everybody's up and at 'em at their normal times. And you've got a bit of day's journeys left to get to the city itself.
Oatmeal.
Wow, fucking oatmeal!
Not just normal oatmeal.
It's not oatmeal. It's Nate meal.
Protein. Anyways, so anything anybody would like to do on the last leg of the journey back to the city itself?
Nothing outside the usual.
All right. Awesome. It'll be early evening by the time you make it back to the city. You are coming in from the northeast, so you will be approaching the northeast gate, which goes straight into the High Ward.
Mm.
And you guys make it there without a fuss.
You know, it's surprisingly nice to have a travel where absolutely nothing goes wrong. It's refreshing,
Indeed.
really.
Also, that's interesting, Gobs. If your arm can eat for you, what happened when you ate that person? I thought the arm was not you.
As I understand it, it's a bit of both. It's a yes-no
Or
kind
did
of
you
thing.
mess up and now you're really hungry because you didn't actually have oatmeal? Your arm had oatmeal.
Daka, you might be muted if you're trying to talk.
Yeah, I was actually talking. Sorry. Um, yeah, yeah. I might have messed up. I thought it looked cool. I'm actually very hungry, and I didn't want to make you make more, so just didn't say anything.
You could have asked me to make more. I'll happily make more.
Also, I'm not sure that now that you bring it up, from what I understand, it's not so much that the arm is separate from me, more that I never was and am it, and it just become me now.
I see and I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get back to you once I understand it. Okay?
Yeah, the point is, you need oatmeal.
Yes, please.
It's a whole who's who situation here.
So, where are we going?
Well,
Green
we're back.
District?
Well, it seems like it would be the place, but I don't like just waltzing in there.
I mean, we do have some things we need to hand off first, and we have some people to greet, right?
Yeah, we need to go
Yeah.
see Lily, right?
Indeed, Nathaniel, you need to build a relationship with your adoptive daughter.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Sorry,
Am
stepdaughter, apologies.
Wait, am I missing context here? Are we
You're missing
bullying Nate?
Gobs, you feel a hand grab your neck, like if they were standing next to you, they put their hand up on your neck, and they jerk you close to them and throw a cloak around you. Are you out of your mind?
Huh?
You recognize the person who is currently grabbing you. It's a gnome. His name is Ryle Fenwick, also known as Scrap. Those couple weeks that you took to establish yourself, he's one of the first guys you met and was actually pretty cool about helping you show or helping you get your feet and learn your way around the underbelly. He's kind of a guy you go who can get things, helps fix things. Some people use him to intermediate on stuff. He is the walking definition of honorable scumbag, if that makes any sense.
Right,
I'm
right, got it.
I thought you were laying low. What the hell? Here, put this on. Put this on. And he's throwing a cloak with a hood over.
On top of the cloak you already put on.
Yeah, he is putting on a second one. He is scared, obviously scared. It's like, man, if they see you,
If who sees me? What are you talking about? I've been out in the city for a few days.
oh, you've been gone. I thought you were laying low.
No, we
There's-
were up in. Never mind.
Let me ask you a question, Gobs. How much money would somebody have to offer you for you to kill yourself and turn yourself in
What?
How much gold would it take to make you consider doing that?
I wait. I don't think I would.
Not
Like,
even for 125,000 gold?
oh, you're talking about the bounty.
Yeah, it's 125,000 gold now.
It's gone up by 25,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it has. It has. Every no-name bounty hunter's looking for you. And
Hmm?
there's one really, really scary guy who's gutted at least 4 or 5 people that you set up as fronts 2 weeks ago looking for you.
Called
Is
Blanco.
is he like a tabaxi? Like cat
Yeah,
cat
a
guy?
big angry cat boy. Not at all like the cat boys you get up here in the High Ward. Those are different.
Yeah, I know about those. You showed me plenty of videos.
Oh, you remember we stopped by that one place?
No, we're not talking about that.
The Twin Tails?
No. So this cat,
Tales? It was different. Anyways, go ahead.
this cat, entirely black.
Yeah, Scant. He's got
Yeah.
a reputation.
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's
We-
really, really upset that the reward only happens if you're alive. And he's made it clear that he only has to bring you in alive.
Oh, great. Do we know where he is?
I do my best not to know where he is, especially not to be where he is.
More importantly, do you know if he's working with someone or is he doing this solo?
He's got that crew that he works with. I don't know if they're with him or not. I haven't seen them. But Scant, he's made it very obvious that he's looking for you, and that A, if you have information, you'll be rewarded, and B, if you have information and you don't give it to him, that even post bounty, he will find you and he will hang your guts across a thorn bush.
You're taking a risk right now. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I am. And you're not cute enough for this, all right? So I'm expecting long-term gainful employment from this.
Of course.
What'd you do to make him so mad, anyways? Or whoever this is that's a lot of gold. Like, I could buy an island levels of gold. The only
Well,
reason I haven't is because I don't know how to run an island and I'm scared of water.
well, I ran away from home, and that's about it.
Your folks are loaded?
No,
Then who cares?
I don't know. You probably know a lot more about this than I do. Do you know who's put up the bounty at all?
It came out through a channel that's usually businesses that are looking for something, right? That they're not supposed to be looking for. It's
Right.
one of those kind of deals is what it feels like to me.
So
the
Gobs just
reason is-
disappears and he's having a conversation this entire time.
As you guys are walking, Gobs gets jerked to the side, and you guys would have noticed this as somebody has their arm around Gobs, and now 2 hoods on top of Gobs, and is whispering furtively with them.
and is trying to sneak a third one on.
Yeah. Can I turn a coat into pants? Yes, you definitely would have noticed it almost immediately, Nexus.
Arrow trained at them.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, friendo guy with the
Nate,
hair.
Nate, this is a friend. This is
That
a
is a
friend.
long beard.
It's a majestic beard, and
It
he's off
is.
limits.
Okay.
Like, is it I can't sell him stuff?
Also that.
What?
Maybe that reward's starting to sound better and better each and every moment here, Gobs. All right.
What reward?
You want to try and take it right now?
This whole situation sounds very
Can
interesting.
he close his eyes for like 30 seconds? Because I
How
think
about-
I could.
How about we trick this tabaxi? So you go and get the reward money for the information, so you get paid, and we lead him into a trap.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
So you want me to go to Scant, try to trick him?
No, it's telling you
then
to be
you-
honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
effectively, you'll just be telling him where I am. It's not
Yeah,
really
you're
tricking
just
or
getting the
lying.
money for telling where she is.
Yeah, but like everybody knows I work for you.
Yeah, well, you could always say you're double crossing me.
I mean, it's a lot of money you could be gaining.
I don't know, man.
It's
Part of
just
the reasons why
a
you came
loss
to get
of,
me, Gobs, is because I've got that reputation for being straight and narrow. I make a good deal. I always fulfill my side of the bargain. Doing this kind of screws with that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I
And
wouldn't
besides,
put you in that
I've got
situation.
my wife and 14 kids at home, right? I gotta go take care of them.
That's
How
a
did
lot
you
of
gain
Gobs,
two more since we left?
I forgot how many I lied about having last time.
Ah, that checks out.
Yeah, he's he's not married and has no kids. So,
uh-huh.
but nah, look. I'm a going getter of things, not of people. This is outside of my capability, but I'm gonna step out of town. Okay.
Good idea.
All right. While this is all kind of hot and bothered, right? Not the kind of hot and bothered I'm after. You were
Wait,
there with the
wait.
Cowboys.
Wouldn't upset the wife.
Gobs?
Yeah, what's up?
He can get stuff. He can get stuff.
Oh, he can get.
We're looking for stuff. You know that.
Yeah, it's not wholesale stuff, if you catch my drift.
I get the kind of
I
stuff
know.
you can't buy in other places.
Yeah, and we are looking for stuff that we can't really buy in places.
You after some dust? What you after, bearded beauty?
It's um, Abe. What's that thing on the? What was that thing called? The thing we talked about with the hacks?
Heartstones.
Yeah, heartstones from hacks, specifically from night hacks.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, there's nothing illegal about those. You just have to go to a specialty place for those.
They can just be bought here in the city.
I mean, yeah, they're expensive. You can buy them.
Like, you say expensive. What are we talking about? Like, car expensive?
Talking 30, 40K each.
Okay, so technically doable.
I mean, because they kind of die when you take them, so it's not like you can just go buy one from a hag. Unless she really didn't like her sisters. I guess that's a situation, but I don't think they take that kindly.
Yeah,
What about
no,
the
no,
other
I don't think so.
materials?
Actually, we can go through the list, see if there is something that you would be able to help us scrounge up. Of course, we'll have to look at pay and such.
Okay.
Where's the list? That was obtained. True gold, is that something that can be scrounged up? I imagine it's just very expensive, just like the other thing.
True gold. You're kidding, right? You gonna ask me for a bucket of rainbows next?
So you can't do
I
it.
Yes, I only have the ability to get things that are real.
What about Hisaku?
Bless you.
It's some sort of deep mining thing.
See, Gobs, I'm getting
No,
less
I
and
don't
less
deal with
interested in
miners.
this guy.
Aurorum?
Look, Gobs, we talked about this, all right? He puts his arm around you and kind of whispers like, drugs, guns.
Yeah.
ladies of less than
Yeah.
reputable.
Like
Yeah.
like I
Right.
said, yeah, nothing wholesale.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought he could
not.
get this stuff.
Yeah, not this stuff.
Mm.
That's not what he's for.
Yeah, that's
Then
not what
he-
I'm for.
Then what good are you?
I mean, you wanna?
Wow,
rude.
Nathaniel. That was.
Hey,
Ooh.
look. If you,
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
if,
Like-
Dear Lord,
if you ever
Nathaniel.
need something to help you have a good time that night, whether that's because you need to be a little bit out of it or you're having trouble being into it, if you get my meaning, that's where I come into play. All right, you looking for a
I
good
don't get your
time or the
meaning.
ability to have somebody else have a good time? That's where I step in. All right, I'm not the local local Homestead Depot. Okay, all right. Okay, I don't sell wood. I don't sell you know, macaroni noodles. Okay, all
I
right.
mean, technically, you do sell wood.
I thought you said you didn't remember what happened at the Two Tails. I mean,
Anyway.
I do, but not the kind that you build a house with.
Anyway, no.
You could wreck a home with it.
Um,
He elbows you, Gobs. Wreck a home. That's good. I have to remember that.
I like this guy, Gobs. He's funny.
Yes.
Hey, I like you too, big lizard guy. Speaking of which, if you're hungry for a taste of home, just let me know. I probably got some of your cousins on, in a freezer, a little place down around the corner. It's hard to get that kind of stuff around here. Good,
Oh.
good prime lean lizard folk corpse. Not easy, not easy. So I got you. All right.
All right.
Made a good soup out of one of them.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up about the whole thing. We'll look at a way to deal with it. You said you wanted to get out of town?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Now that I know that you're in town and not laying low, you're running around like an idiot.
Yeah, I think.
Like if I could find you,
Yeah.
then he's gonna find you,
I mean.
and I don't want to be there when he finds you.
Oh no,
no, you
no,
remember?
don't.
You remember what happened? What happened down by the docks? I'm a crier. It's ugly. It's not pretty. It's not a good look.
Oh yeah,
Hmm,
if you happen to see a guy in a suit and she vaguely describes Carrie, you're gonna want to run from him.
Yeah, that sounds like a government person. I'd run from them anyways.
Yeah, just as fast as your legs.
Guys in suits and weird robot guys. I'd just stay away from them. Right? If they smell too clean, nah, I'm out.
In the meantime, that bounty that's out on me, where's it posted at?
Huh?
And if I-
All the usual. It's not really posted anywhere, but word's traveling through all the usual mouths. If you get the drift.
I mean,
Alright.
it's right here on bountyhunter.com.
Oh great, it's gone open.
Yeah. Especially, I was down in the gears. Hitting the slots, losing my shirt. You know how it goes. That's where I first heard about it. It's not really being posted up, but everybody who's got a blade and an empty pocketbook is looking for you.
Well, good. I was looking to train my swinging arm for a bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaving town. You're gonna make a whole lot of enemies, and based off of the time we spent together, I have a feeling that they're the kind of enemies that'll do anything to get back at you, which means they'll come for everybody's most lovable gnome and pull my toes off. And I like my toes, Cubs.
Yeah,
without
get
my
out of town.
toes, I can't count to 22.
Yeah, you should head out of town, like right now.
Yeah, the gate's right there. I'm going to as soon as you stop talking to me.
You're the one who still has your arm slung around me.
Because it's stuck in the second cloak. I can't get it out.
Okay, let's get this untangled.
Thank you. You help him get untangled, and he does leave you with both cloaks as he pulls his hood over him because he has like 6 hooded cloaks on him because he's just weird. He's got a duffel bag full of them for some reason. Actually, you know the reason. It's because every time he goes in somewhere, he eventually gets hit, beat up, or something spilled on it, and he throws away a cloak and then puts on a fresh one. He's paranoid about it for some reason. But
Not
yeah,
superstition.
he flips his hood up over him and goes, "All right, I'll see you in a month or never. Goodbye." And
Have a good life.
he walks out the gate.
Oh well, there goes a month of work. So yeah, that contract appears to be what's next on my docket, at least.
Well, at least we won't get bored, I suppose.
I mean, it is partially me and Salah's fault.
No, it's not.
Well, not your bouncy, but like, scanned.
He would definitely have gone for this bounty either way. He's that kind of scumbag.
Yeah, but there was a chance he would have been less hostile about it, considering he knows us at this point.
Did you meet him?
Yes, I met him. I
He
had
was
a
gonna-
plan for how to deal with him, and I was dutifully ignored.
He was going to be hostile towards us either way. By the way, what was your plan?
You remember when we were in the tavern and we technically knew what their plan was to bring the woman to Helmbrim and all those things?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
We could have rode ahead of them instead of them turning into a mist and be prepared in the town for them.
Right, I remember that. Yeah. So, what is a good plan? Do we try and take them by surprise? Strike first?
I mean, it sounds like he works alone, and it sounds like he's gonna go mainly for everyone but you.
I do hope he didn't bring his friends. They seemed nice.
I imagine he did. They seem to like the whole idea of taking bounties together, and the rest of them are doing the whole, it's just a job. And to be fair, at the level my bounty's at, it's quite a job.
The bear seemed friendly enough. The last one just seemed kind of apathetic for the most part, but not hostile at least.
I think I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time making it very clear it's a bad idea to go for me.
I doubt,
Mm,
with a vengeance like that, I doubt that will dissuade him.
No, but it might persuade the other idiots, so we can focus on him.
Yeah, but it'll also just put a flag that you're here.
I don't think we should let you walk around alone at this point.
Oh, no, I'm
No.
not saying that. I'm just saying, if someone were to lose an arm and a leg, be left in a pitiful state, might make others reconsider.
You get the sense
You-
from your arm it's hungry.
You're gonna go around dismembering people.
One guy. Hopefully that will avoid me having
Why?
to do it to multiple.
You know, for the time being, before we start deciding how we're gonna maim half of Gilgamesh, let's go visit Lily, hand over gifts, and have a nice conversation.
Please don't
Perchance the
dismember
tower-
people.
Perchance the tower has information to where we can get our next material on the list of resurrecting Enkidu.
Yeah.
Abraham,
See,
something you pick up on as you're standing in this intersection and you start to look around. Unlike the last time you came into the city, you know where you are. You know this neighborhood. You know these streets. You know the High Ward very, very well. Memories are starting to flood back to you and bounce off your rattled brain. You're only 2 blocks away from the clinic.
it's been a very long time since that clinic was there.
And that's just information I wanted to give to you.
Well,
I'll be right back.
You got some business, Abraham, Mr. Grissom?
Mhm. You could say that.
Talah speaks up and goes, Abraham,
What?
do you want me to come with you?
You can come along if you want to.
Yes, but do you want me to want to?
Don't know.
In that hesitation, she steps up and takes your hand. Squeezes it.
All right.
I was about to say, as long as you bring someone with you, I'll be more than satisfied, considering we have an angry cat coming for us.
Yeah, someone able to turn into a big angry gorilla seems like a good pick.
While you're doing that, Abraham, I think the rest of us should go and find perhaps something to eat or something. And just give us a call when you're done with whatever you're doing. We'll wait for you.
So he heads off that way where he remembers it to be.
As you and Talah go, around the corner and down the street, you see the sign.
Same.
Updated, right? It's in a similar style, but obviously newer, because no sign lasts for that long. As you look, you can see that it's been remodeled a couple times, but it is still the same building, same clinic, the Grissom Heart Clinic. Sits right there.
Go inside.
There's people in the waiting room. Everybody's running around. People are getting taken care of. You hear people coughing. The inside, it's familiar. The flood of memories, the smells, everything's very similar to what you remember.
I'll go to the check-in desk.
There's a halfling male just sitting behind the desk. How can I help you?
I'm here to see Tabitha.
Tabitha who?
Tabitha Grissom?
I mean, Dr. Grissom, she doesn't do clinic hours anymore. She's been retired for like 20 years.
Where is she then?
Oh, she's probably, next door at the orphanage, the Grissom Heart Home for Children, but
Thank you then.
What do you need to see her for?
I haven't seen her in a long time.
Okay. Hold on there for just a moment.
I have to go. What do you need?
Just hold on. There's somebody who'd probably want to talk to you. And just don't send random people to bother.
I'm not random.
Okay, well, random to me. And he picks up the phone and goes,
and who are you to the...
Hey, yeah, there's some weird old guy here, and he was asking for Dr. Grissom. No, the other. Yes, her. All right, thank you.
The other?
And
beady-eyed.
She hangs up and goes, just hold on a second. And a few minutes later, the clinic door opens, and a woman walks out, and as she does, Talah gasps as the spitting image of Tabitha Grissom has, at the age you remember last seeing her, walks out and goes, yeah, I'm Dr. Grissom. The front desk said that you were here to see Tabitha Grissom?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you are.
No,
What do
you
you
wouldn't.
need with my grandmother?
You wouldn't know who I am. Grandmother, you say? Then that makes me your great uncle. I'm Abraham.
You know how many Abrahams we get showing up here every couple months, trying to make nice with my mom or grandmother, trying to pretend that the long lost uncle who trying to get hands on the family fortune. Everybody thinks we're super rich. All right, look, she's an old woman. She's sick. Leave her alone. All right.
I'm afraid I must press the issue. I am he. On the way to Neap, I hit my head and I forgot everything, and woke up in a clinic in Neap with no memory of my life.
Great story. So you can read a newspaper, right? Tell me something. If you're him,
What?
tell me something only you would know. Let's try this. What's pain? Huh? Tell me what pain is.
It's a lesson to learn what not to do. It's an experience.
Okay. Well, she's given a lot of speeches. You might have heard it then. Let's try this. She used to tell me the story about her stupid little brother, and was the worst sunburn you ever got.
Oh God. It's on the tip of my brain, dude. Like I literally did watch the VOD again.
Ding
Remember?
dong.
Oh yeah. It was down low below the waistband.
There's a lot of things below the waistband, pal.
On my genitals.
Huh.
And I never knew how to say the prestidigation correctly when I first learned it.
All right. Hey, Max, where's Jacob at? He's in the reading room with the other kiddos. All right. Well, let's go get my brother. Let's go see Grandma. I promise you, if you're just here to screw around and hurt this good woman's heart, then it'll be hell to pay for you. Do you understand me?
I am not worried about that in the slightest.
All right. And she goes walking down the hall and opens a nursery door. And she goes, "Hey, Jacob, let's go see Grandma. Come on." And a little boy with sandy blonde hair comes bebopping out. Oh, okay, sis, let's go. Let's go. I love Grandma. She's always got the best cookies, even though her clothes smell weird. Let's go. Oh, there's another old person. Hi, old person. Jacob, be nice. This gentleman is here to see Grandma. It's an old friend of Grandma's. Oh, okay. Well, Grandma has all kinds of friends, and I'll be happy to see her be happy because of a friend. Oh, sis, hold on. I forgot my wand. And he runs back in and he comes running out with a stick that's been taped together in 3 different places. It's like, got it. We can go now. All right, she'll be next door at the Grissom home. Come on. She takes you outside, and 2 or 3 spots down, there's actually an older, larger home. And it's the Grissom Heart Home for Children. And he goes, yeah, when everything started kind of kicking off with that whole siege thing, there's kind of a surge in children who were missing parents. So she decided to open up this place to take care of everybody. Oh, come on.
Yes, I'm coming. She always did have a heart for those in need.
Well, that's Grandma for you.
She always left me to wander off on my own if I saw fit because she was so busy in the clinic.
But worked herself to death, and we finally got her to hang up her holy symbol after all these years. She was having trouble making it even to lunchtime without being exhausted, but she's 92. Then she comes over here and she's explaining this as you guys go in. There's kids running all over the place of all kinds of different ages and races and all that kind of stuff. So everybody's having fun. There's different volunteers and teachers and whatnot, and starts to take you upstairs. She goes, it's been. I think a lot of this helped her heal after what happened to Mom and Dad.
Yes. She spent a lot of her time trying to distract herself from that to take care of me.
Oh no, I meant my mom and dad.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear it.
Well, you guys kind of wind down a hallway, and there's a pair of really big oak doors. You guys stay here. Let me go see if she's awake and if she's up for company. Jacob, keep an eye on him, okay? Aye, aye. And then she steps in and closes the doors behind her.
Jacob, do you know how to cast Prestidigation?
I've tried to learn that one, but
Yeah.
it doesn't always work right. I blew out some candles.
If you try to hold your hand like this and make this symbol followed by this symbol and say it, Prestidigation, and focus on the effect you want. Kratos.
Like this? Like this?
Yes. No, you bend your finger a little bit more.
Prestidigitation, and he says it wrong, and his shirt gets blown up over his head.
Hey, you're closer.
I can't find my nose.
Pull the shirt down.
Oh,
you have to focus on the energies you want to project.
Talah is crying and giggling at the same time. Oh man, this is hard.
Well, it helps if you say it correctly. Prestidigation.
Prestidigation, and the doors open.
Well, that's a new one.
Huh. Oh, hey, look, there's Grandma's map. You see the map?
A map of what?
As you step in and you see her office, this is your sister's office, you can see news articles kind of pinned across everything. As you look across everything, the couple things you pick up is there's a story about...
it's tracking me down.
So there's several different stories. So one of them, one of the big ones you see is about Isaac Grissom and his wife being killed in one of the attacks from the Band of the Red Hand. And a big uproar about that because they were volunteering as medical aid workers, and yet despite that and being clearly labeled, they were hit. The sieging army leader claiming that it was accidental misidentification and all that kind of stuff. And that they left behind 2 children, a daughter and a son. And also mentioning, Tabitha Grissom, hero of the city, known for taking care of the downtrodden and less fortunate with healthcare. There's an article about the opening of the Grissom Heart Home for Children. Then you start to see articles about a ship going missing, an interview with Tabitha about her desperate search for this missing ship. The map that's there, you see, is a map of the sea that leads out towards Neap. You can see where in pen traces of currents and whatnot. You can see a marker where different pieces, you can see where she's got notes and little sticky notes of different pieces of debris. There's a notepad there with faded handwriting of her and the different places and the different people she talked to in Neap when she went out there searching for you and didn't find you. Pictures of her in Burcoin and in what's that other city that she would have went to? in Clifford, you know, news articles of her, you know, and her desperate hunt for her brother and things like that. In some of those pictures, you can see her being very pregnant when she was in Clifford. And just all the different articles and notes. The thing that really makes you kind of stop is she has a piece of the tortoise, part of the tortoise name plate from the ship is in a frame and it's hung on the wall. And then a few moments later, the younger woman opens the door. She goes, "Well, she's awake and she wants to see you."
Okay. Just remember, prestidigitation. Say it correctly and invoke the feeling, the energy you want. Fingers like this. And I follow in after the woman.
Now, she's not feeling very well,
Hmm.
and she'll get tired real easily. Don't stress her out.
Hmm.
And
Walk past.
she walks you up to a bedroom door and just opens it for you to walk through.
Okay, go in.
You step into a room. You can hear the beeps of a heart monitor. There's an old woman laying in a bed with several handmade blankets on top of her. Room's moderately sparse. You see lots of books on the wall, in the bookshelves. Window with the curtains pulled back so that there's light coming in. And she's sitting up in the bed. She looks over at you and goes, "You're a bit late, aren't you, brother?"
I lost my memory. I've been lost for 40 years.
"I know, you've missed a lot."
Apparently a great deal of children have gone through here.
"Hand me my
Some of them.
glasses. Let me see how you are."
Hand her find her glasses somewhere nearby and hand them to her.
And then in my case over there, you know the one. Give me my stethoscope and
Yes.
all right, come here, sit on the edge, and she pulls herself up a little bit and she puts it in and goes, "So where were you? Breathe in. And out. All right. Lungs are clear. Haven't been smoking. Good. I would have killed you if you had been."
I have shipwreck on the way to Neap.
"Yes, the tortoise. Something happened and the ship with all hands was lost."
I hit
She's
my
doing a
head
little
on.
light in your eye. Oh, good cornea responses.
I had hit my head on a door handle in a cabin, and I woke up in Neap.
That explains the scar up here in the hairline. Yes. Well, in Neap, you say?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
The docks, just off of the docks.
Were you in a hospital, a clinic, or did just somebody take you in?
A free clinic. I was unconscious for quite a while before I came to.
Must have been. You must have been out of there before I got there. Sadly, I got delayed in my search for you.
Yes. I got caught up in something that obsessed my mind. Something I saw out in the ocean when the ship went under. And I spent 40 years of my life searching ever since for what I saw. Crazed, manic, obsessive. I spent every waking moment trying to get back out onto the ocean to find it again.
Well, did you find it?
I did.
Was it worth keeping you away from me for all these years?
Absolutely not.
A tear runs down her cheek and she goes, "Oh, you are my Abraham." And she just pulls you in. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't find you."
I'm so sorry I remained so well hidden from you. I believe my searches probably made it hard for you to locate me, always out on the ocean.
Yes, and by the time I was able to make it fully to Neap, it was a couple years after the accident. At your going away party, I may have had a bit too much to drink, and do you remember Leorthine Van Quilnalis? That arrogant prick of an elf?
Vaguely. I never liked
Well,
him.
me either, but apparently, when I've had too much to drink, my choice in company leaves some to be desired. And by the time word got back to me that your ship had gone down, I was 6 weeks pregnant with Isaac. And I was able to make some trips, but, being expecting and all, I couldn't take a deep water trip to Neap, and by the time he was weaned and no longer needed me to be there, the trail was quite cold. But I knew you'd be back. Tell me, how powerful of a wizard are you? Have you turned the world on its head yet?
I'm in the midst of trying to.
Trying? You're a Grissom. We don't try anything. You know that. Isaac would have loved you.
I'm sorry I never met him.
He was so much like you.
Jacob seems to be a bit like me.
Yes, very much so. I see the Grissom genes run strong. Isaac, being half elf and all, despite being close to 50, still able to have children. Met a nice young girl, one of the nurses at the clinic. Hannah grew up at my side. So 3 generations of Dr. Grissoms. I'd like to think we did some good in the world.
When you help one person, you can help the world.
I believe somebody very beautiful and very wise and intelligent said that to you when you were little.
Yes. I believe she was called Tabby at that point.
Oh, nobody's called me Tabby in a long time. I think the only people in this world I don't like are those bastards south of the wall.
Yes.
But I'd even help them if they came stumbling into my clinic.
That's just how you are.
So what'd you think of the home? Did you see the children coming in?
Yes. You seem to be making quite a bit of use of your compassion. And every resource you have seems to be geared towards giving. And I wouldn't think I would find you any other way.
It keeps me young. Now look at all of this connected to me. Just won't let an old woman die in peace, will they?
Well, if I had my way, you wouldn't. At least not until we could catch up some more.
Well, then you need to be a much more powerful wizard than all the other ones around here. I'm not well, Abraham.
I can see.
But I always told them I wasn't going anywhere until I got to see you again. Well, we've got some time to get some catching up to do. Tell me, do I have any nieces or nephews?
No, my obsession with my search on the ocean has kept me from finding any real attachment to people, except for some friends recently.
Well, something never changes.
But
You didn't even go to prom, Abraham.
well, I was busy. My studies kept me.
Oh,
Seems
yes.
to be a trail, a common
Mhm.
theme. There
Yes.
is one that you might want to go see. Or I
Oh?
could bring her here if you would like.
Oh, a lady friend?
I have an adopted daughter.
Oh, really? And
Hmm.
what is her name?
Lilyandra.
Oh,
We
that's
call her
beautiful.
Lily.
Did you name her after that halfling girl that kissed you in freshman year?
At the time that I named her, I didn't have memory of that time of my life. So
Ah, but you did.
maybe, maybe not.
The half
Who's...
pint that stole half your heart.
Hmm. But yes, she is. Well, she's home right now, and I was going to go stop and see her, but I wanted to see you first. I just recently regained my memories.
Something's wearing on you. And it's not just the fact that you've missed 50 years with me. What bothers you, brother?
A great burden placed upon me to do what you say, turn the world on its head. But there's so much to that that's unanswered. What would it entail once the deed is done? What would happen after I enact it?
Same old Abraham. You have to analyze everything from every angle.
Yes. It's the only way to know the correct motion to take.
It's the only way to know beforehand.
Well, if you
So
don't do any searching, then you'll never have the answers. You'll just be jumping blindly.
Sometimes it takes a blind jump. Don't let perfection get in the way of good.
So, did that elf bastard ever stay in your life, or did he just give you a child and go away?
Oh no, he disappeared.
Hmm.
He'd show up every 4 or 5 birthdays trying to pretend to be a father, but you know how elves can be. A decade to us is a day or two to them. I believe it was about 15, 16 years ago, he died. Something about a bet that went sideways at a gambling den. Somebody stabbed him through the heart.
Seems to be the way of things sometimes. We all find our end in our vices.
And thankfully, the only thing Isaac got from him was the half pointy ears.
I understand that he is no longer with us, according to what
Yes,
your granddaughter said.
got caught up in a attack. Him and his wife were both out there.
The siege attack?
Mm-hmm. They're out treating the wounded on both sides. They set up a little clinic on outside of the wall, and a group of the Red Hand rolled over, and my understanding is that they came in and demanded that they stop treating the defenders of the wall and give all
That
their
wasn't
medical
going,
goods.
and that wasn't going to happen, of course.
Of course not. So they killed them and everybody in the camp that wasn't part of their army.
Hmm.
Poor
I see.
little Jacob was only 9 months old at the time. Hannah being about 14. That story sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. But at least they had you.
Yes, they deserve so much more.
Doesn't the world also deserve so much more? Trapped in a fishbowl as it is.
Perhaps.
So we're all kind of in the same boat. We all need somebody like you out there.
Well, Since you've obviously aged quite a bit better than me, maybe you'll have to be the one to take the Grissom name out and share it with everybody. I'm getting a bit too old to go storming walls and running medicine across town in the middle of the night.
Yes. I take it that with these monitors and the many blankets that you're not up for traveling, are you?
Oh, not usually.
Hmm.
There's someone you needed me to go?
Well, if you can't go see Lily, I might bring her to you.
That would be nice. Is she as smart as you were?
Smarter.
And
Smartest
that's
creature than you'll ever know.
Now that is something I'd have to see. How old is she?
A year? Months. What is it?
Couple months.
She is 2 months old.
Oh, so young. Who was her mother? Someone
Poor-
close to you?
A poor unfortunate creature that I found in Neap, already dead.
It's not nice to refer to another person as a creature, dear Abraham. I taught you better than that.
Well, I would refer to her as otherwise, but she was a dragon.
What?
I tell no lie, Tabby. It was a dragon's bones surrounding, protecting, and caring for, even in death, a tiny egg. Well, tiny compared to the size of the skeleton, but as big as your torso as it would be. We carried that egg for many months until it finally hatched, having imprinted mentally upon me and me upon her. And Talah here helped hatch her, being of the naturic arts, a druid.
It's just at the door frame. She just leans in and waves a little bit. Obvious, like, big crocodile tears in her eyes. She's just so stinking happy.
And, well, upon seeing Talah's face, little dragonling imprinted upon her. So, in a way, even though Talah has her own man, me and Talah are her father and mother. The physiology of dragons not being anyway near like ours, she grew up fast, very quickly. And so, yes, she can speak. She's reasoning. She's learning. And if you would like, I could bring her here. You could talk to her.
That sounds wonderful. Will she fit in the room?
Oh, she's about this tall, blonde hair. She's quite impressive as a magical creature, able to take the form of a little girl.
Oh, well, then I'll make sure I get plenty of good sweets and
Oh, she would love sweets.
and we'll make a date of it.
Yes, Tabby.
There's a light rap on the door, and Hannah leans in. Grandma, it's a little late. Let's get your evening medicine in and let you get some rest. Of course, Hannah. You'd think she was the grandmother here, the way she babies me.
She learned from watching you.
That's exactly what she said. Don't know if I like the idea of having another Grissom around to team up on me. And Hannah goes, so it's true? It's him? Yes. Your uncle Abraham has come home. Long last. She just kind of looks at you, doesn't know what to say.
Look, Tabby, I finally got my Roscoe.
You always had Roscoe.
But this was the one that I summoned.
Yes,
This magical one.
you summoned him when you were 8. He used to be fatter.
Well, no.
You still don't remember absolutely everything, do you?
No. It comes and goes in pieces. If it wasn't for Talah here, I wouldn't remember a thing.
Oh, yes, my dear. How did you help him? His greater restoration. Oh, wow. He's a strong druid, then.
Hmm?
The Wild Mother and me have been on speaking terms for quite some time. I know Hannah here is upset with me because I won't bother the Wild Mother to help me out. I told her I'm tired and could use some rest. Maybe once all this stuff gets settled, that'll be time. I could take a nap. Now that I know that you're back, that would make it easier to rest calmly.
I must warn you, before you take your medicine and go to bed, that we've made enemies. Sneaky ones that may be tracking us. I wanted to see you, but I fear that coming here may endanger you. And if I did so, I apologize.
Oh, Abraham, I realize it's been a long time, but despite my condition, don't ever mistake me for being helpless.
Yes, Miss Tabby.
While I may not be willing to ask the Wild Mother to intervene for my accord, if someone comes to this home and endangers my children, it will be a very poor day for them, and they will be very thankful there's a clinic nearby who can put them back together when I'm done with them.
These types may not be worth of being putting back together.
Nonsense. Everyone can learn from pain.
Maybe they haven't had enough pain in their life, and that's why they're so cruel and so willing to give it out.
Well, that's not our place to decide that. We deal that kind of judgment and punishment when we have to, not when we want to, Abraham.
We may have to. They're pushing the issue. There's a bounty on our heads. One that they put an exorbitant rate on in order to force the point.
Really?
Hmm.
How much? I do have bills to pay, dear brother.
How much was it?
125,000 gold. And when she says that and you kind of look at her, she starts to snicker under her breath a little bit. Always so serious. One of these days you'll start to learn to laugh.
What? 125,000 is not nothing to laugh at.
It would take easily 5,000 or 10,000 more before I'd consider turning in my brother.
You would never, even for that much.
Don't be so sure. Maybe I've changed in all these years.
No, you haven't. You're still Tabby.
Hannah goes, Tabby? You used to smack me on the hands with a ruler if I called you Grammy Tabby. And I will do it again. She starts to reach for a yardstick that's next to her bed. I can still get it. Abraham, hand me that. Let me get her on the knuckles.
Hand her the ruler.
She starts shaking it at her. Like, nobody calls me that. No one. Except for my brother. It's only because he couldn't say Tabitha. I let him get away with it when he was a little boy. And now habits of 60 years are hard to break. It's not his fault. He can't help it. At least he dropped the cat. Oh, I hated when you called me Tabby Cat.
Well, I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't say everything.
Well,
Tabby cat. I struggled.
I know.
It's the reason why prestidigitation was so hard for me.
Oh, you said it right. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right, well, Hannah's gonna spank us both if you don't stop bothering me and let me get some rest. She mothers me something awful.
As Grissom should.
As a Grissom should. She reaches up, pulls you down, and leans up a little bit to kiss you on the cheek. I've missed you so much.
I'm only learning to know that I've missed you My memories. He just shakes his head and gets up. I'll return when I can. Tomorrow, if I can. If nothing keeps me.
She's already started to doze a little bit, and Hannah goes, I'll show you out.
Hmm.
You know, she knew you were alive.
I'm sure
None
she
of us
did.
ever believed it. Do you know how she knew?
How?
Every month she tried to cast True Resurrection.
She could?
She could. Every month. And it never worked because you weren't dead. But I could see the sadness in her eyes when it didn't work. Because she never understood, if you weren't dead, why weren't you here? You have a lot to make up to her. She's going to be forgiving of you, but don't for a moment think that I will be.
Well, if you want to blame anything, you can blame a shipwreck and a door handle. Rubs his temple.
Take a lot more than a bump on the head for me to forget her.
Hmm.
Have a good night, Mr. Grissom.
Good night, Miss Grissom.
And Jacob goes, oh, Uncle Abraham, Mr. Grissom. Uncle Mr. Abraham.
Yes, Abe is fine.
I got it right. I got it right.
Say it for me.
Prestidigitation. And he casts it on Talah to wipe and clean off Talah's face because she looks like she is not somebody who should cry in public. Her cheeks get all puffy and they all get dirty and runny. So he prestidigitates her face clean for her.
They're very good. It's a very useful way to use it.
Yeah, girls cry a lot. It's weird.
And boys can cry too. And sometimes it's okay to let it out. Take care of her. Points at Hannah.
I try, but she doesn't listen to me. Especially around boys.
Hmm.
Jacob, that's enough. We need to go home. You've got school tomorrow.
Thank you, Hannah. I'll be out of your hair.
She just nods.
Leaves. Takes Talah by the hand and leaves.
Talah's doing everything she can to contain all the things she wants to say, but she knows you don't like to talk, so she either really has something to say or she really has to pee. It's one or the other. Maybe both.
Let's go find the others before they get into too much trouble.
Okay. And as you meet back up with the others and begin to head deeper into town, either to head home or to head to the tower to see Lily, I believe that is where we will end the session for this week.
All right.
So, once again, I appreciate everybody who's watching at home. As the holidays roll in, I'm not exactly sure what kind of schedule we'll be able to keep over the next couple weeks. And we may take a venture back into Cyntari's campaign, just to give me some time to prep the next couple legs of the journey. But in the meantime, that's the end for this week, and we will see you all next time.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.